Okay. Well, we play an away game, but we treat it like a home game. This weekend, going down to FedEx Field, got a Notre Dame team that offensively is playing very, very well. Been impressed with Tommy Reese, quarterback, and Michael Floyd is a young man who's an outstanding receiver. And good offensive line, and again, good skilled players. Defensively, they play a little bit different in terms of the, the 3-4 scheme. So, we're looking forward to it. NBC TV, 7:30, and I know that we'll have a good week of practice and prepare well, and look forward to playing on Saturday night.
Coach, you dealt with Brian Kelly when he was at Cincinnati and you were at UConn. What kind of style does he impart to his team? What kind of team can we expect this Saturday?
Well, he's a team that's going to play what we call 11 personnel, which is 3 wide receivers and a tight end and a back. And he's going to give you some problems in the passing game and runs the football. So good coach. And we played him at Cincinnati, and had some good games, some high-scoring games, and but again, it's an offense that tries to utilize all the field against you, and defensively, he's a team that is going to play sound and fundamental, but we expect a tough physical football game.
Coach, when you first saw this game on the schedule, the location, the opponent, the prime time, everything, how excited were you, and how disappointing is it instead of going to that game on a good note, when you could kind of continue to launch the program, you're instead going on kind of a sour note?
Well, I was excited about all the games that we have on our schedule, and I'm excited about playing this week. And to me, it's the schedule. Our record is what it is, but that doesn't deter the fact of how we're going to prepare and how excited we are to play. Because again, this is game number 10, on the schedule, and it just happens to be Notre Dame. It's on national TV, and these are the things that you look forward to as a football student athlete and as coaches.
Randy, you beat them 2 years ago under really difficult circumstances. Can you reflect on that game a little bit?
Yeah, that was it was a great victory for the Connecticut team at that time, and we as a team had been through a lot, and it was just something in terms of the culmination of went out there is that a group of young men who believed in each other, believed in everything that was going on, went out there and just played a tremendous game and just fought to the very end and found a way to win, and just a very good victory for the Connecticut team that day.
Coach, talk about your elevating Justin Gilbert starting late guard.
Keith, when you look at the team, when I look at our team, I always try to look to see where our best players can fit in. And when I took a look at our offensive line, I know Justice was a tackle before, but when I looked at our team and looked in terms of what we have coming back, I just felt that it would be in our best interest to move him to guard, knowing that we had Max and we had RJ at the tackles, and we put him there, and I thought he played well, and I think he'll play better this week because he's got a game under his belt now. Graded well enough to be the starter this week, so he did a good job.
Randy, considering all the injuries on defense and the number of freshmen who have been forced into action, how would you assess the job Todd Bradford has done this season?
Well, I think what happens is ultimately I'm the guy that's responsible for everything. So maybe I didn't put enough guys in position to get it done, but we know we've got to get better on defense, and we're going to continue to work at that. And again, sometimes that you're limited with certain things that happen, but again, no excuses. We just got to keep getting better.
Coach, you mentioned it's just another game, but you know that you won't be bowling this year. You're playing in an NFL stadium, national TV, in Notre Dame, which you can't overlook that. Is this your team's bowl game? Could you salvage this season with a win on Saturday?
Well, we got 2 more games after that. So to me, I think every game should be a bowl game. Because every game's so important in college football. But again, I think FedEx Field is a tremendous field. But the bottom line is when we go on the field, all I want our guys thinking about is playing against the opponent. The field at FedEx is the same distance as Bird Stadium. It's 120 yards long and 53 1/3 yards wide. So we just got to go out there and play, and I think our kids will play very, very well.
One other question. The media, we're just looking at wins and losses.
Exactly.
I'm curious for you as you look at this team. Is it the same for you, or are there some other barometers that you're using to measure where your team's at this point?
Well, what everybody looks at on the outside, that's all they look at. They look at how many you win, how many you lose. That's the business that we're in, and I understand that. But I look at the big picture. I look at the big picture because when you're installing a program, there's more than just wins and losses. And I just feel that it's the total program that we're installing, that just has to be developed. So, we're winning in a lot of areas. We're just not winning, on the field right now. But that'll happen. I'm confident of that. That will happen. But again, and I don't want to say this the right way, but in college football today, and you take a look at a lot of things that are going on, okay, I think it's very important to make sure that you develop the total program and have all that in place and do it that way, as opposed to maybe having some things that you see in college football today, happening. And as long as I'm the head coach, that's exactly what I'm going to make sure that as we're installing our program, is to make sure those happen, because it's more than just about on the field. But I understand that that's how we're judged, okay? But it's more than just about what's on the field. It's about what can we do to make these young men better people, better students, and better athletes. And we better not lose sight of that, okay? But what we make sure that we do is do that, and then you can do those other things in terms of getting all the wins that you want on the field. Because, we have the obligations to, these parents and other people.
Coach, you've talked the last couple of weeks about the execution, the missed tackles, the drop passes. What kind of steps do you take during the week to kind of eliminate those mistakes?
Just practice better. We just got to go out and practice better. And practice consistently. Maybe not better, but consistently, because we have been getting good effort in practice. We just have to be more consistent. And I could sit here and put the film on with you guys and show you, out of the 75 plays, how many plays we played, there's 40 to 50, or how many there is that we do very, very well. And then you have the other 20 where, we have some issues because consistently we didn't execute what we needed to execute. And, then maybe, and it's also, then there's times where we can probably I know we can call better plays offensively and defensively. So, there's a lot of variables that always go into it.
Randy, you mentioned on Sunday that you'd been here in this sort of situation before, and you compared it to Connecticut, which I think, from the outside looking in, is quite a different scenario in 1998 or 99 than this is. How do you find that situation and this situation analogous?
Well, really, and I think, the problem is there's things that I say that, kind of get taken out of context at times. And what I was referring to there was when I went into that situation, you had a team that was 10-2 who came off going to the 1AA playoffs for the first time in school history. Expectations were very high, and, what we were going to do that next year. And there was variables there. They lost 25 guys, really good players, and some other issues that were there. So, and then, the first year didn't go so well. But that's what I was referring to, just from the standpoint of going into a situation there as compared to here, not comparing the state of any program to any other or anything along those lines. And so again, you know, you go in, you install your program, you keep working it, you stay consistent, and you know, look what happens.
Coach, obviously it's been a tough season, and the fan base has been disgruntled and down about the way the season has gone. But with a game like this coming up, how do you encourage the fan base to get out to a neutral site like FedEx Field and encourage the team against a team like Notre Dame?
Well, you know, again, I just think it's supposed to be a great night. Weather's supposed to be great. You know, you got Maryland, Notre Dame. You know, it's college football here in the Maryland, D.C., Northern Virginia area, and like I said, it's just, to me, it can be a great evening out, you know, with your family to come and watch, you know, college football, and kids going out and giving everything that they got to try to win a ball game.
In looking at Virginia last week, it's the second year for Coach London. Obviously, things are going a lot easier for him in his second year. Do you anticipate that in terms of, you know, the consistency and the message and going through the entire cycle one full time, that the second year will be in some sense easier than the first?
Well, there's no question. You know, there's no question. And, you know, you have a chance as coaches to talk, and you talk to Paul Johnson, and, you know, before the game, and, you know, what they go through, and Mike London last week, and you talk, and, you know, we're all in this profession. We all understand it. And the thing that everybody wants, you know, is going to do is you have a philosophy and you have a plan of action. And what you're always going to do is install that plan of action and just stay consistent. And what you will do is you continue, you see the progress. Okay, you see things happening. And again, what you don't see and what the fans don't see, they only see what's happening on Saturday. And that's what they're going to judge us on. Completely understandable. But it's more than just that. That's a big part of it. But the other things, but there's a lot of progress, you know, being made, and I think when you talk to the young men, they would tell you that.
Randy, I was wondering if you could just touch on any specifics about where you're seeing winning, you know, away from the games on Saturday. Where's the biggest progress being accomplished? Well,
I think that's something that you know, just stays here within our family. You know, and again, in terms of what our program, you know, is all about. And so, you know, to me, I see it, and you know, all we're going to continue to do is be consistent with, you know, the things that we, you know, want our young men to do.
Coach, I understand the importance of trying to keep every game like the one before or the one after it in terms of importance or whatever. But I would have to think that knowing how you grew up and where you grew up, that playing Notre Dame is something special and offers, you know, this team a chance to really sort of recoup some of the pride or confidence or whatever that maybe has dissipated over the last couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, Notre Dame is one of the most storied programs in the history of college football, and to beat them would be a great victory for us. Okay, but you know, we're going to prepare and do things the same way, you know, that we've done. But again, you know, I have great respect for Notre Dame and what it stands for and what it's all about. And you know, I know that our young men do. But yeah, a victory over them would be very rewarding.